Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of
MomChitChat.
It's so exciting to be here with my ladies, my girls. How are you doing, Nicole? How are you?
Hi. So good to be back.
Hello, Mama. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
So, just in case this is your first time of watching us, my name is Ifeyinwa, the founder of Hi Mom Zone, and I have here with me my mama.
Hi, Nicole Chikwe, founder of TK Wellness.
Also in the studio with us is...
My name is Ifeyinwa Omiesete, and I'm the kid nutritionist.
So today we're talking about children's nutrition, picky eaters, those kids that will refuse to take their food at the right time. They will tell you they want rice and tomorrow they don't want rice. Do you have a picky eater in the house?
I have two, and I only have two children.
Wow, okay.
So my house is full of the picky eaters. And I have been from one spectrum to the other spectrum.
Wow.
In fact, I think God did it on purpose because I believe that He used it as an experience so that I can share not just clinically, but tell someone, I've been there.
Right.
I know what you're going through. And there's no kind of picky eating I haven't experienced.
Wow.
Right.
The range is huge.
That's something that I'm kind of struggling with now. With my first two, they were relatively good eaters, but then my 10-month-old, I was so excited because I never thought that would be an issue for me, but she is so picky. Once I started trying to introduce solid foods, it's just been an uphill battle. So I'm here to learn. Like, I'm so excited to be able to learn from you what I can do for, not just for like my older kids because they're fine, but for actual babies as well who are still trying to come to terms with eating solid food and moving away from milk,
Same here. My first is also a picky eater, and I'm so here to learn and
Please,
learn everything.
I need it.
Please,
I need
we
it.
do. So then, how do we ensure that our kids are getting the right nutrition?
So I think the first thing that's really important is we need to stop panicking. 9 out of 10 children are picky. I think that term has been abused and overused because picky just means I like something, I don't like something.
True.
However, the best way to be able to get them to eat the right nutrients is to understand the child. And when you understand children, there's a concept that is very easy. You've been on one kind of food for 6 months or however long the child has either been on breast milk or formula, whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden you're bringing strange taste, strange consistency, strange everything. And then you just want the child to just swallow and chew.
Yes.
How?
Yes.
Even as adults, we have difficulty with certain things. You have to think about the senses, smell, color, feel.
Right.
So there's so many factors in it, and until you get those basic factors down for every single child, because every child is unique,
Right.
That's true.
you're just going to keep going around in circles. In terms of nutrients, balance is so important. We have different colors in fruits and vegetables and, grains and carbs and all those things mean different things in food for children. So as the parent, the first thing you need to do is, all right, what do you even like?
Right.
There's no child that doesn't like anything. And if you do find that rare child, it's like 1 out of 100.
Oh.
So the key is, what do you like and how can I incorporate all those things you like into one thing?
So can you please tell us a little about your platform and how you help mothers feed their children?
Okay, so I clinically practice as a pediatric nutritionist. But I started my platform because I began to see that the issues that moms were coming in, it's not that they were trivial, but they just seemed like things that if they got the basic knowledge, they'd be able to carry on by themselves.
True.
So I started the platform to be able to teach moms how to feed their children right, because there is the right way and then there's the confused way. And as we all know, being a mom, being it the first time, 100th time, it's hard.
It's hard.
And so being able to...
different at each.
Exactly. And so being able to be of service, be able to tell people, okay, this is what you should avoid, this is what you should try, these are the options, here's the balance. That's really what the kid nutritionist is about. Another thing that I love to do is I love to teach and I love to to give practical examples to moms, because most of the times it's what you see in the books or what somebody else has just said, but being able to bring it down to the mom's level where she says, okay, I can implement this for my child is really what I believe in. So I run a couple programs, and one of them is called the Peds Nutrition Program, which is a 2-week online course where moms gather from a community. We do like meal plans. We talk about everything from picky eating to allergies to worms in babies to thirst quenchers. I mean, the list is endless. And really my goal is to impact knowledge so that you can go and be an ambassador for someone else, you know, and teach more moms, because we can't reach everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
But education and awareness, and not at a cost that kills, but at a cost that's fair, where mom says, I can do this and invest in my children and in the lives of other people's children is key. So for me, that's really what the Kid Nutritionist is about.
Wow, that is so insightful. So can you please tell me, what is one frequently asked question you get on your page?
Apart from picky eating?
Yes, apart from picky eating.
One frequent question that I get a lot, which is now becoming concerning, is allergies. These days, I think a lot of children have different kinds of allergies in different forms. In fact, the one that has shocked me recently was a mom says, my child is allergic to apples, but is not allergic to oranges and can eat pineapples. I said,
wait, hold on, can you repeat that?
She said, my child is allergic to apples, is not allergic to oranges, and can't really eat pineapples. And I said, okay, can we do that? Just like you asked me, can we do that again? In fact, I had to ask her to go do a test because it was confusing. And lo and behold, in the test, that's what it showed.
Wow.
So you can see that genetics is no longer a lost story or something that is only for the doctors to understand. It's beginning to be at our doorsteps.
Wow.
Right.
So that's a question I get asked a lot. And one of the difficult things moms have is, okay, you're allergic to this. What do I replace it with?
Right.
You know, and so for me, that's it's concerning because the numbers are rising, and I don't like to look at things from the surface. I like to look at it from the root cause. Everything has a root, and once you're able to uproot something, you can destroy the leaves, you know, the trees, whatever the case may be. So allergies for me is something that I'm spending a lot more time with in terms of research, and trying to better understand it so that we can uproot it from the core, because it actually starts from inception. And so it's not really about the child, but you know, about what happens with the mom during pregnancy, what happens with the mom when she actually has the child, the environment, what the child is fed, what mom's eating when she's breastfeeding, the kind of formulas. The factors are numerous, but you know, being able to look at it from that perspective helps me be more insightful in the response that I give moms. And being able to answer them correctly rather than just say, oh, okay, then stop giving apples and don't give pineapples.
So are there some tips you can share with us as moms that can actually help us with giving our kids healthy meals, preparing healthy meals for them?
Of course. Meal prep. Meal prep, meal prep, meal prep.
Absolutely.
When you plan, you avoid failure. And even when you even fail, there's a backup.
That's true.
So it's very key that in order to do meals that are healthy, you plan ahead. You know, I advise that you at least shop once a week, plan it out, you know, portion out your budget, because it must always meet your pockets. Don't go above your pocket. You know, plan out and prep ahead. If it's a situation where maybe, okay, light is a factor, you can do it in small quantities, you know, keep, freeze, however the case may be. Apart from meal prep, be the example.
Right.
A lot of us today
That
are
is
struggling with
fantastic
our
point.
own nutrition, our own health concerns, and you're trying to stuff something down a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old who's struggling to fully understand what this food even is.
Right.
But when you eat it and you talk about it, in fact, let me give an example that I've seen has worked time and time again. So apart from being a nutritionist, I love food. I like
Who
it.
doesn't?
I like its in any form, shape, and size. In
Food
fact,
is life.
when I
Yes,
was
it is.
pregnant with my first, what kept me going was all these cooking recipes on Instagram. I could watch them for hours. And so when recently I found that I still watch them every now and then because I'm always looking for new recipes. I noticed my daughter will come and you know, watch it with me. And recently, one thing that she started doing is, oh, Mama, let's go and make.
Oh,
Let's go and
cute.
make. So as much as I didn't really think about it as something that was impactful, but my desire and my want to, you know, create new recipes and find new things has you know, passed on to her. And she's like, yes. And when she makes, we might not eat all of it. But, you know, the fact that there's an interest has shown that she's willing to, you know, want to try, knows the names of things that I didn't even think she would know. Like I think there was a cake I wanted to make once. And she was like, Mama, we're missing the strawberries.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
You go, girl.
And how old is she?
She's 3.
Wow.
So that for me was, it changed the game. And then I think the last thing is start early. Don't wait till 7 months. Once you hit that 6-month mark, just start.
Right.
And don't start with only cereals. Start with real food.
Right.
Food that grows from the ground, get the sources. So, you know, get your fruit. There's rice, there's yam, there's pasta, there's noodles, there's sweet potatoes. The list is endless. The right combinations: bell peppers, green peppers, yellow pepper. There's tatashi, there's crayfish, there's iru, there's bread oil. I mean, there's no, like I said, there's no one combination that's right. So meal prep is important. Leading by example is as
Absolutely. I completely
and then
agree.
of course starting early. Starting early is so key.
To also talk to us today about children's nutrition, we have Dr. Anire in the house. Dr. Anire, thank you for
Hello.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, can you please tell us a little about your platform and what you do for mothers?
Okay, I'm Dr. Anire Chimauduko. I'm a public health physician. I currently work in one of the leading hospitals here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm very passionate about the health of women and children. And yes, I know that for children to be healthy, their mothers need to be healthy too. So so it's very important. So my interventions run across women and children.
Wow.
And so I have a registered NGO called Healthy Pink Health Initiative, where we do health education, health screenings, and
Oh wow,
yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah.
So Doctor, we know that you just wrote a book.
Yeah,
this is it.
Yeah, I'm so
it's so
excited
colourful.
to present my very first book called Healthy Kids Are Happy Kids, Health Education for Children, Parents, and Teachers. So it's easier, there's a saying that says it's easier to build up children than to treat broken men.
Yes.
So I think it's very, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that really touched me.
Yeah, it is. So I think from the beginning, we need to start teaching children the right things they need to learn to function properly in today's society. So I looked through the curriculum in places like America, UK, and all that, and I noticed that they have something that is just aside from academics that builds children to be balanced and 360-degree children. So it has to do with healthy eating, it has to do with healthy movement, exercise, healthy habits, and most very importantly, mental health. Building emotional stability, emotional intelligence, you know, getting children to love themselves, handle their emotions, and then this
Raising resilient kids.
very important. And then the last aspect of the book talks about body safety. Right now, sexual molestation is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
If you notice, one in almost everybody will tell you I was abused when I was a child. But now it's coming to the limelight, and children need to be educated on how to protect themselves. So yeah, that's what the book is about. I also talk about healthy eating, which is why I know we're here today. So I try to present it in a fun, interesting way, using character stories. So there's a superhero called Olama, the awesome foodie.
Okay.
So she's the food advocate, the food champion that talks about healthy eating, trying to teach the kids and telling them what is healthy, how to eat a rainbow and stuff like that. So kids sometimes we like to force kids to eat food.
Yes.
Eat vegetables, they're good for you. Why? I don't like it. But you can make them comply in a fun way. So that's what I try to do with this book.
Wow.
So the puzzles.
I absolutely love it. I love
so
being
catchy.
able to see like little black kids in the books as well, because this kind of representation is important.
Yeah.
Very
when
important.
you're able to see someone who looks like
you.
it's just easier to kind of absorb it. I absolutely love the book. It's so well put together and it's so colorful.
Thank you.
And
so
I
catchy.
particularly love that you cover more than just healthy eating, because when we think about healthy kids, the first thing you think about is, nutrition. And of course, nutrition is important. But
It is.
There are so many other things that really contribute towards building a truly healthy kid, inside and out. I love that there's also stuff about mental health.
Yes, a lot.
And like you said, raising resilient. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I read somewhere that 37% of Nigerian kids are down with malnutrition, stunted growth. And that's because stunted growth, and that's because of malnutrition, because they're not eating right. And I think this book is really, really important for us.
Okay.
It's really important.
In the higher socioeconomic class now, there's a new form of malnutrition, which is obesity. It's growing. It's growing. So it's not just about undernutrition. There's overnutrition too.
Yes.
We can't give our kids everything they want. We can't allow them to have pizzas all the time. I'm not saying they can never have it, but there should be it should be treats once in a while. Balance. So
So let's get into the viewers' questions. Remember, you can send us a DM at MomChitChat TV, or you can just send us a mail, momchitchattv@gmail.com. We're here for you, for moms, by moms. Question 1. My 4-year-old daughter refuses to eat anything other than bread. It's a struggle feeding her. How do I get her to eat other foods, especially vegetable? This sounds more like my first son.
No, I need the answer, please. Anybody?
Okay, so I think the first way I'd like to answer this question is to ask another question. What is bread? So bread is a baked good.
Yeah.
You can bake your vegetables into your bread. You can put fruits into your bread. There's fruit bread, I've heard of sardine bread, there's egg in a hole in bread. You can use different grains to bake bread. So bread is not the enemy, it's what kind of bread you're giving. And then as the parent, what are you eating? For example, in my house, I purposely buy bread once a week. Once it's done, it's done. Find something else to eat. My children love bread, but they don't see it often, so it's not a desire to chase after it. So that's one of the ways that you definitely can get your child to eat. And at 4, that's an independent child that's made up their mind as to what they've seen happen in the home. So she didn't just wake up one day and said, "There's only bread I'm going to eat." That's what you've allowed.
It's a norm.
Right.
So all you have to do now is just change the narrative of how the bread is presented and what forms of bread that you give.
Dr. Anire.
Okay. Just to add to what she said and to affirm what she said, I always like to say my children will eat what I give them. You can't, I don't think my children will say, "I want pizza," because we don't really eat pizza at home. So they don't even know what pizza is. So basically try and then don't force it down their throats. Give a variety. So anytime you're feeding, you can give vegetables, just present it in a fun way. And like 4 different varieties, and let them pick what they want. And you can say, okay, you can also give them options. Do you want bread or this? If you eat this now, you can have this tomorrow. So make it like they can choose, but you're giving them options that you want them to eat. So you can have carrots or lettuce. Which one do you want? So it's okay, I'll have carrots. Do you get that kind of thing? So you give them alternatives instead of saying no, you can just have this, or you must eat your vegetables. So you can have chicken or fish. Which one do you want? Okay, I'll have fish.
Knowing
So
fully well that
both of the they're healthy
They've
stuff.
gotten
Or
their
you can have
proteins in.
beans or eggs. Which one do you want? And they choose, okay, I'll have eggs. So they feel that they're in control, but you're actually in control because you're giving them the options you want them to have.
Wow, that's so smart.
And then you can also things like fun ways. One of the ways I discuss in my book is eat a rainbow. By eating a rainbow, it means eating colors. So what colors? What colors are we eating today? We have to eat green. Have we eaten greens today? No. So where can we get our greens from? We can get it from cucumber. have we eaten red today? No, we can have it from tomato. So let the child say, okay, just let them eat in
That
colors.
is so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to eat a rainbow. And
Now I want the book.
yeah, and I'm
So
able
that,
to eat one.
yeah.
Okay, let's just go straight into question 2. So do children need daily vitamins, or can they get that from their diets?
So you definitely can get your vitamins from your diet. Now, I want to avoid being too clinical about this, but it's important that we understand that it's not just consumption of the vitamin, but the absorption of the vitamin. Because I can drink all the multivitamins in the world. If my body is not absorbing it, it's waste. It's just coming out as waste. Right. So bioavailability is important. And the easiest way for the body to absorb vitamins is through food.
Yeah.
And so ensuring that not just cooking the food, because these days we can cook food till it's non-existent.
Right.
Just ensuring that what you're making, the vegetables, the fruits, the food is alive. For example, vitamin C easily gets destroyed by heat. And a lot of the foods that we cook with in Nigeria contain a lot of vitamin C, but we boil and boil and boil and fry and fry and fry until there's nothing left of it, you know. So an example, for example, is tomatoes. When you want to make stew for children, you ensure that you don't fry. I understand that it's a taste thing, but your palate is developed from what you experience.
Right.
And so when that child experiences tomato that hasn't been fried to non-existence, it's still food. And you will still get some kind of, vitamin C and still get some of your B vitamins from it. So again, absorption is key. Because just like the doctor said, the issue we're having now is no longer about malnourished and undernourished. It's overnourished. And a big problem in overnourishment is the lack of nutrients, and a lack of nutrients in terms of the micronutrients, which are the vitamins and the minerals, and an excessive intake of the macronutrients. And when there's no balance, obesity sets in.
Wow. Dr. Anire, what do you have to say about
Okay, there's a saying, a famous medical saying, I think Hippocrates said it. He said, let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. So food in itself, it contains everything we need if we eat it right. You don't need to, if you're healthy, you don't need any supplements. Supplements are only to supplement what is lacking.
Right.
Not
So if I don't give my children supplements like that, because I'm trying my best to give them everything that they need, and they're growing healthy. So yes, you don't need to and it's even healthier when you get it from food than when you get it from a pill. So they're doing a research, and they showed that vitamin C that you get from orange is far more effective than the tablets.
Really?
Yeah, it works better and all that you get from nature than the one that is synthesized. And yeah, it still works, but that one is more effective. So as much as possible, try and let the food supply the nutrients and vitamins. But of course, if there are some issues, there are always exceptions why they can't eat food. Then you may need to supplement, but it shouldn't be the primary source.
So I have a question, and it's for both of you, actually. I wanted to ask about locally produced baby foods. As we have probably noticed, there's definitely been a shift towards more and more entrepreneurs entering that space of baby food manufacturing. And while that is really exciting, because I'm very pro-Nigerian, I'm very, buy Nigerian brands, how safe would you say, in your professional opinions, these baby foods are, or what should I be looking out for when I am buying food for my child that is locally produced in Nigeria? This is baby food.
Okay, so I get asked this question quite often, and I like to say this. I enjoy supporting our locally made food, but something needs to be very clear, and certain boundaries need to be drawn. And those boundaries lie in proper certification. Right. So production of food for children is a lot more fragile than it is for production of food for adults. And whether you like it or not, it's a processed ingredient. It's gone through a process, and a process that you didn't go through at home. before it got to you. So I always tell moms, ask the questions. If they can't answer your questions, you have no reason giving them your money. Ask the questions of, how often do you produce? Because one thing that's important is when something is produced, it sits on a shelf for a period, eventually gets to distributors. What's the shelf life? Something that's produced in Nigeria shouldn't have a ridiculously long shelf life. Why? Because the resources should be readily available.
True.
So the shelf life shouldn't be something that you tell me, oh no, it can last you for 4 years. Oh really? Where are you importing it from? You know? That's one question I always tell them to ask. And then 2, price. I know it's hard being an entrepreneur in Nigeria. I know that the system sometimes is not always very favorable for entrepreneurs. However, if I'm getting something that came all the way across, that they spent millions on, ensuring quality control and all that, and then you come to me and tell me, oh, yours is triple the price. I'm sorry, my dear. I can't buy it. Let me go and buy the one that I'm sure of. You can't wait. That's the second question. And the third, and which is so important, is ensure that it is being checked by certified professionals.
Right.
A lot of baby food brands today just start something in their kitchen and they're off.
Right.
You need to make sure it's gone through the right channels. And I'm not just talking about government channels. I'm talking about ensuring there's a medical professional on the team.
Right.
Ensuring that they're nutritionist on the team. Doesn't even have to be a pediatric nutritionist, a certified nutritionist or dietitian on the team that has evaluated. And I'm not just saying that the person has told you that they're on the team. I should be able to have access to that individual because you're closer to home.
Right.
And so you're not too far to reach.
Right.
I should be able to ask those questions and get answers because I'm your audience and you're feeding. I don't care if you have 1,000. I don't care if you have 1 million. My opinion still matters because if anything happens to my child, I'm holding you by the coattail. That's it. So those are the questions that moms must always ask. And honestly, just because Auntie Tinuke has eaten it for 10 years and Auntie Femi ate it for 20 years, doesn't mean it's right for you or your child. If your child likes to eat something that's imported, go ahead. But like I always say, when it gets to the point where we need to start eating regular food, which is normal food that adults eat, do it from the comfort of your kitchen or comfort from your home. If it's inconvenience where you want something that's quick and easy, buy maybe 1 or 2, but don't let that be the basis of the meals,
Okay, she has said virtually everything I want to say. I think we should encourage our children to eat Nigerian food. I think companies that are coming up with made in Nigeria products should be encouraged. We should have it. But like she said, there's a lot of things wrong with our country in terms of said people can just get up and does NAFDAC even work? As in, is it even, can we even, okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, but how sure are we, because these are children, how sure are we of what they are eating? So my advice is, most of, you can actually process these foods yourself. Yeah, sure. You can make akamu, our local ogi yourself and put crayfish and put your guinea corn and you can actually the truth is you can blend most of this food and make just puree it and do it yourself, okay? Whilst we encourage those coming up to go through the normal process, the certifications, and be sure that it's really healthy. That what we are giving them is safe. Safe is very important. Yeah, that's my take.
This is so insightful. Thank you, Dr. Anire.
Yeah, you're
Thank you,
welcome.
darling, for all having us here. So, you guys need to follow this women right here at Kid Nutritionist and Dr. Anire on Instagram. You need to follow them and tell them your challenges. They're always there, willing to help you raise.
Yeah, and please buy my book.
Yes, and a book, please.
You need to buy my book. You thank me.
Thank you for watching another segment of Mom Chit Chat. Be sure to follow, subscribe on our YouTube, Instagram, every of our social media, and is at MomChitChat TV. So, see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.